She choked the game away at the free throw line, and the fans are blaming Tyler Marsh. We got some controversy going on. We got all the Sky fans crashing out. They crashing out blaming the coach because Angel Reese missed a free throw at the end of a game.
Angel Reese has once again managed to turn a professional basketball game into something that looked more like a blooper reel. Chicago Sky fans are in complete chaos, scrambling around in frustration the way little kids scatter when they've been caught with cookie crumbs stuck on their cheeks. Suddenly, the team's coach has become public enemy number one, while excuses for Reese's performance are stacking up higher than laundry on a Sunday afternoon. Her entire camp seems to be in full-on damage control mode. But here's the part that's almost comical. While her fans are busy pointing fingers and shifting blame onto anyone else, they're also trying to inflate WNBA viewership numbers. In a desperate attempt to compete with Caitlin Clark's overwhelming spotlight, spoiler alert, fake stats can't erase missed layups. The entire meltdown unfolded like a bad reality TV season finale, loud, dramatic, and unintentionally hilarious. So let's put it to you: are you rocking with Caitlin Clark, the baby goat, or with Angel Reese, the baby giraffe? Drop your answer down in the comments. Let's dive in, because here's the truth: Angel Reese had the perfect opportunity to come through in the clutch. The situation was there for her to step up and prove herself. Reporters even asked the coach about the decision afterward. Was that the plan? Did you want her to miss that free throw? What was the thought process in that moment? The coach quickly clarified, no. She asked if we wanted her to miss it, and I told her to make it. It would have only been a 1-point or 2-point game regardless. Still, a one-possession game. She just missed the free throw. It happens. In other words, no secret strategy, no deep chess move, just a plain old miss. Picture this: Reese had the basketball in her hands, the crowd buzzing, the game hanging in the balance. It was the perfect moment to prove she could rise to the occasion. But instead of producing a clutch play or even a respectable possession, what unfolded looked like something out of a parody skit. There were no highlights, no signature moves, nothing remotely close to professional basketball execution. It was so rough that the box scores looked more like a comedy script than a stat sheet, and even the broadcasters couldn't hide their shock at what they were witnessing. Now, of course, not everyone was ready to put all the blame on Reese. Some fans insisted it wasn't her fault and that her teammates needed to catch that. But the excuses quickly spiraled into pure comedy. One commentator joked, "Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Scooby, put down the butter. Butter pecan." Another added, "This time of year, you've got pumpkin spice, football, and Angel Reese layups." And when it came down to the last play, one fan summed it up perfectly. Final play of the game: Angel Reese's clutch gene, that's my Barbie. But this wasn't just a typical missed shot, it was a complete implosion. The kind of moment that makes fans sitting courtside think about heading for the exits early just to avoid watching the disaster unfold. This wasn't a simple stumble, it was an unraveling, the sports equivalent of forgetting your house keys, leaving the oven on, and realizing the dog ate your homework all at the same time. Sky fans watched in horror as their supposed superstar turned a hyper-sure spotlight into a total blackout, showing once again that when it comes to Reese, pressure doesn't create diamonds, it creates bloopers. Damn Angel. Damn. That's the sentiment that echoed as she essentially threw the game away at the free throw line. And now, controversy is boiling over in Chicago. Sky fans are pointing their fingers at head coach Tyler Marsh, accusing him of being responsible for Reese's collapse at the line in 4, ruining the team's chances of cutting the deficit to 1 and keeping their hopes alive against Phoenix. Instead of facing the reality of their star crumbling in crunch time, the excuse machine revved up to full speed. Because when a big-name player falls apart on national TV, fans don't accept it. They launch investigations like amateur detectives. First target, the coach, naturally, because in their minds, there's no way Angel Reese just underperformed. Nope, it had to be bad rotations, poor calling, or maybe even deliberate sabotage by the coaching staff. That's how ridiculous the conversation got. Some fans acted like the coach tied her shoelaces together and whispered, "Good luck, champ," before sending her back out for the final possession. And as if things couldn't get more absurd, it wasn't long before the discussion shifted. Again, Reese was now being celebrated for bravely returning from a back injury. Yes, a back injury. Except no one can even pinpoint when exactly she supposedly suffered it. But that didn't stop the Chicago Sky organization from getting back to their favorite routine, throwing confetti every time Reese racks up a double-double when it comes in yet another loss. The narrative quickly shifted away from her blowing another huge opportunity, and instead, the blame landed on the coach for not catering to her every need. But here's where the bigger picture comes into play. This isn't just about one bad game. This is about the massive Caitlin Clark-sized shadow that looms over everything Angel Reese does. While Reese is fumbling clutch moments, Clark is rewriting the history books like it's her side hustle, and the stats don't lie before this latest loss. Someone pointed out that the Sky were something like 15 to 31 in games where Reese got a double-double. That means her big stat nights often come in losing efforts. Fans may try to celebrate it, but others see it for what it really is: embarrassing. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is doing the exact opposite. Her highlights are the stuff of legend. She's pulling up from the logo, shattering attendance records, and turning every game she plays into a cultural event. She's not just playing basketball, she's elevating the entire league. Reese, on the other hand, has become best known for choking under pressure and fueling her fanbase's excuse-driven meltdowns. It's like watching a split screen, making arenas erupt with historic performances. While Reese fumbles chances and leaves her own supporters scrambling for scapegoats. One is building a lasting legacy. The other, a laundry list of excuses. And when the embarrassment of reality becomes too much, Reese's fanbase pulls out their favorite old trick: fake viewership numbers. Suddenly, WNBA Twitter is out here claiming Reese's flop nights are pulling ratings bigger than the Super Bowl, Taylor Swift's tour, and the moon landing combined. But scratch the surface and it all falls apart. Those record numbers are inflated with highlight clips, recycled, social media views, and cable comparisons so niche they barely matter. It's smoke and mirrors. The truth is simple. Caitlin Clark doesn't need fake numbers. Her impact is undeniable. Networks see massive ratings spikes when she plays. Teams are literally moving games to bigger arenas just to handle demand. Her jerseys don't just sell, they sell out so fast they cause long lines and website crashes. That's what real stardom looks like. Reese's camp, on the other hand, has to resort to recycling old stats from last season, like claiming her matchup against Aja Wilson pulled 1.22 million viewers, when in reality, it averaged around 230,000. And the kicker: that inflated number only existed because the broadcast rolled into a Clark game, so people were already tuned in waiting for her dot. And when fake stats don't work, her defenders pivot to their next excuse: the referees. Suddenly, every whistle is proof of a conspiracy. Every call is evidence the league is rigged to make Reese look bad and to prop up Clark, as if missed layups are part of some grand officiating plot. Some fans even went as far as accusing her teammates of not doing enough to protect her brand, suggesting they weren't setting the right screens or feeding her the ball in the right spots. The contradictions are almost dizzying. Reese is supposedly dominant, but also fragile enough that everyone else needs to carry her. The deeper you dig, the clearer it becomes. This isn't about basketball. This is about the constant comparison to Caitlin Clark. Every single thing Reese does, or fails to do, is immediately measured against Clark's shadow. Every missed shot becomes a referendum. Every mistake is turned into a magnified disaster. Meanwhile, Clark is consistently delivering greatness, while Reese is being carried by Twitter threads and fan-made narratives. Here's the harsh reality. Angel Reese is not a fundamentally skilled basketball player. She has hustle, length, and a personality big enough to make highlight reels, but her footwork is clumsy. Her finishing touch around the rim is shaky, and her decision-making is questionable at best. No amount of finger-pointing, no spreadsheets full of creative metrics, and no imaginary stat padding can change that truth. When the game is on the line, you either step up or you don't. Caitlin Clark does. Angel Reese didn't, and what makes it all the more laughable is the endless excuses her fanbase throws around. Instead of admitting she had a bad night, they perform mental gymnastics worthy of the Olympics to explain why none of it was her fault. Watching it unfold is like seeing someone trip on the sidewalk and then blame the shoes, the cement company, and the position of the moon anything except their own clumsiness. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark continues to thrive, not just holding her own, but setting a standard. Reese and her defenders can't fake their way into